Omatakiyasen. Namaste. Sarve Mirestita. So, no, Ofcio on my relatives. Oh, wow. Does my body, my heart, feels so much lighter. Still got a little bit of the drain thing going on. Tired. But I had another aha this day. Some emotion around it. Not as intense. Actually, even more freeing. Maybe that's not the... Well, yeah, it's freeing. All of it is very freeing. When they say the truth sets you free, oh, you know, in that whole Jack Nicholson, you can't handle the truth. Yeah, we can. Sometimes it might feel like you can't, but we can. So my aha, walking machine here. This is another aha, one that I can trust off leash. Sometimes you just need some of that little, correction, but very, very responsive to it. And that'll be another video. That'll be another meditation rambling, sharing about the mirroring of the animals. At least beginning to delve into it. Anyway, couple of side trips there. My aha today with the new moon, you've got the Venus, and I'm not going to try to cite all of the planets. I'm getting better. I'm learning. But we've got like a really, really intense, powerful opportunity here. And for myself, I've been working for quite a few years and setting the intention and prayer and allowing myself to be naturally guided. That I naturally follow my intuition. I show up at the right place at the right time. Everything is needed right where, right where I need it, how I need it. And I, following my heart, following my breath, following my intuition, sometimes can be painful in the sense that, people try to tell you what to say or do, or sometimes, you have to do things, or you're being guided to do something that may affect someone else. Later they discover, usually we always discover, because sometimes it happens to me, you discover later, it's like, wow, thank you, Creator, for getting me out of that one, doing for me what I couldn't do for myself. Well, it goes both ways. Anyway, I've worked so much at that, and one of my gifts is I feel the earth and the animals. And so, and I have no qualms. I am an animal. And following that guidance, just like my dog does. And sometimes if I can't hear it or whatever, my canine companion, my animal companion does for me. I always had one. There might have been short periods where I was without one, but one came along very, very quickly. Anyway, with this love, and it's this love of yourself. So our relationships are at least the way I feel it and understand it and know it to be true, is all of our relationships are a relationship with the divine. They are a reflection of our relationship with ourselves, our divine, the one creator. And so, give me a second here. He's got me by a restaurant. He's going to try to go over. Let's cross the street. Take that temptation away. And then I'll let you back off leash. So, my first husband, leading up to my first husband, I was engaged 5 times. Each and every one of those times, it just seemed that I had the one girlfriend. She was more like a sister, totally cool with the family. A lot of my other relationships, they were like, So I had the one really, really good relationship. And I was engaged 5 times. None of them were what you would say approved by my biological family. And of course, by this time, I was so, what's the word? Entrained. I was so, keep everybody happy. I was the peacemaker. I was used many, many times to bring peace between my brother and my sister and the family and so forth. So, my first husband, consequently, I backed out of all of those. Well, when I found who became my husband, my family totally approved. As a matter of fact, of many, 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 many years, actually clear up to my biological dad's death, I imagine, at least for as long as I had contact with the family, my biological dad and my ex-husband were best of buds. So, they continued on the relationship long after we got divorced and I left Ohio. So, then, it seemed like the ones I picked out, my heart picked out, my spirit picked out, wasn't approvable. Wasn't anything like my biological family. They're like, where'd you come up with this character? I'm like, really? So, anyway, I traveled with this companion for many, 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 many years. Became really good friends. Best of friends. And I think I've already shared that relationship. I'm not going to go into that. Anyway, but that was my realization. I just kind of was like, wow, all those men that I picked out prior to getting married, those were my choices. That was my heart calling. Of course, it wasn't meant to be because it didn't happen, but it was my heart calling. But the ones they picked out said, oh, that's a good one. Grab that one. It's like, and that held true for another relationship as well. I didn't realize that the manipulation because it was a beautiful, I am not negating any of the relationships. They were absolutely perfect. Hey, absolutely, yeah, I'm getting run away here. Absolutely perfect and beautiful, and I learned and I've gotten to experience many, 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 many different kinds of love. And the one was one, I've asked for all of them. I asked for all of them. I manifested them all just like we all do. Anyway, that was my little So I am very, very grateful that with the non-human animals, I've allowed them to choose me. There's been that law of attraction, you could say. And so I'm not saying I want another relationship. I am completely, utterly, wonderfully content. Just me and my little chief here. It was just an interesting insight. So it brings back to this question of free will, which is a part of all our relations. Part of all our relations fire team. This is our theme this week, and it's so cool. It so is in perfect alignment with, of course, the gene keys, which is also the Mayan calendar, which is all based off of the planetary alignment. So it's like, we are falling right in line with everything. Anyway, we've got a stray dog here somewhere. It's got him all excited. So, this free will, which, I'll do a whole thing on free will because that's like, but anyway, is it real or is it an illusion? And where was I going with this? I got totally sidetracked with the stray dog, so I think I'm just gonna end it right there and call it this a good little meditation walk ramble at our gorgeous sunset time, and concentrate on all this that is going on around us here. So I can stay very mindful. Anyway, loving y'all.